Hi. Happy new moon in Virgo. Now, for some of you, the new moon's going to be on the 3rd of September. For some of you, it's going to be on the 2nd of September, depending on where you live and what time zone you live in. So don't take any of it to what you're going to feel it regardless of when it peaks. I'm really excited about this new moon. I have a little bit of a different perspective. I'm going to share with you to begin with. I'm still going to pull cards, but I'm going to share with you to begin with where I get this information. If you're, diehard by the book Astrology or Human Design, you may not want to watch this because that's not generally how I roll. I kind of utilize my connection to source. They show me things that I need to pay attention to and share with people. And I'm going to have like a little diagram here so you can see kind of in the charts where I get this information or where it looks. If you're keen on that, I'm always keen on that. So I like to share that with people. It's interesting because I feel like these random bouts of anxiety, but they're excited. I'm excited for something. I don't know what it is. Does anyone really know what it is? I don't know. The sun and the moon are transiting my first house, like right on my ascendant. So I'm sure there's something magical happening with that. And we'll talk a little bit about placements in just a moment, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the energy because we are at a turning point. We are at a point where we are physically going to experience a shift. And I did a metamorphosis event not last night, but on Saturday night, because it was the last day that Pluto was in Aquarius for the time being. It's gone back into Capricorn. And for some people, I think this is it's all going to be beneficial, but it's about cracking the vessel. And for those of you who are well-versed at cracking the vessel, it's reaping the rewards of that. But the replay is available for purchase if you want to purchase it, or even the workbook that I created to survive Pluto going back into Capricorn. It's $15.15. Links in my description box below. Anyways, okay. I'm going to read an excerpt from Inside Degrees because the sun and moon are at 11 degrees in Virgo. And you can just take it. However, I love these little information, like just feel it, just open to whatever's meant for you. Whatever isn't meant for you, don't worry about it. I saw Steve's Love Tarot the other day, and he said something that really resonated with me. Let them be right. Just let people be right. Let them be right. It doesn't actually hurt or harm anybody. Just let them be right. Stay in your lane, step out of the drama, don't worry about it. That I felt that in the pit of my belly. I felt my belly soften. Okay, Virgo at 11 degrees. A 4-year-old girl dressed as a nurse. Why a 4-year-old girl? I don't know. Innocence has its way to persist. You can grow up, yet retain the stance of the novice, the beginner, the wonder worker. You foster a knack of renewing your original basic values and way of being at every critical juncture, a quality unique and unmistakable. At any age and within all situations, coming at things as though we all just got here and we are simply trying things on for size. The best of this quality is a sticking to prenatal resolves of a lofty integrity that refuses steadfastly to fall under the weight of the critical mind. The worst of this quality is that in its zeal, its dedication, and its self-insistency, it invariably puts others to shame and generates in others the self-consciousness and self-judgment you are yourself bypassing. Therefore, what is good for yourself proves to be bad for others and results in a quandary, a confusing and puzzling situation, eventually impelling you to add one borrowed ingredient, the ability to take yourself lightly. And I love this. And you're gonna get whatever you needed to get from that. There were so many little beautiful pieces in that, and a deep self-awareness of perhaps the way we take so much so seriously. And it's such an interesting place to have it in Virgo because Virgo, I think, and Capricorn are some of the most serious signs in the zodiac. So we're at being guided to not take things so seriously, even though they might seem serious. And there's so much more to that, and I'm going to get into this. I use astro.com. You can use whatever astrology platform you want, but I would look up your natal chart and then pull up the transit for today, or if you're in the time zone where September 3rd is the new, it doesn't matter. You can put September 2nd, September 3rd as the transit. Look to see what house Virgo rules in your chart. So look at where the sun and moon are transiting, because they're both at 11 degrees at the time of the new moon, okay? You're going to see how you're personally affected by this transit. And then if you want to go down the rabbit hole, look up what it means to have the sun and moon transiting this particular house in your natal chart. There's lots of information out there, guys. So this is about being a return to innocence, a student of life and curiosity, trying things on for size, releasing the responsibility the title of master holds. Like, we're mastering so many things, but we're really the master of none in a lot of ways. And there's something with that just releases the responsibility to be perfect at anything. Like, when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, we're starting from square one. We're mastering all this old stuff to kind of release it, I feel. And then we're, you know what I mean? And then we're coming back into this newness. We have a clean slate, which can be kind of scary, but also kind of exciting. And a renewal of our basic values. What our basic values are. Now, on the human design side of things, this is where things get really beautiful. And in the diagram, you can see how the astrology natal chart connects to the human design chart. This is at 40.6, okay? Surrender to the will of the soul. Out of the mind into the soul. Out of the mind into the heart, okay? Restoration and nurturing will be obviously beneficial. Like, you'll have like this tracks, this, like, whatever it is. I have gate 40 in my Jupiter placement, so where I'm going to attract the most luck and abundance. And honest to God, when I'm not working at something, that's when things come in. And that's not going to be for everybody, but right now we're not meant to worry about anything. We have to lean into trust, and that's a hard thing to do. I'm right there with you if you struggle with that, okay? Refreshment of the soul's work through human capacity. We've been conditioned and programmed a lot to be a certain way, but that's not necessarily our soul's path. So we're embodying our soul's path, but being able to utilize that path in a very human way, going about things in a very human way, establishing the right process of growth for you. Whatever the right process of growth is for you, whatever your process is, leaning into that, accepting it, not worrying about it, not taking it all so seriously, just moving into flow. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of that in just a moment. Overcoming the victim of fatigue. Overcoming the need to do things out of fear. Like, if I don't do enough, I won't survive, okay? Surrendering to who you're here to be. And this is going to be different for everyone. There is no cookie cutter standard for anyone anymore. There really isn't. I know there's still lots of people out there being like, if you just do this will, but even in that, you'll have to tweak it to your own flow, okay? Using resolve to surrender to divine will. Nothing else is working. Open up to a solution. That's the only choice we have, is to open up to a solution, because how we've always gone about things, they don't work anymore. And it creates more frustration and feelings of failure. And then we're like, what did we do wrong? We didn't do anything wrong. We're trying to acclimatize to this new energy. Okay, accumulation of awareness. There's going to be a deeper sense of self-awareness, which is going to include the subconscious narrative. And nobody wants to go there because it's uncomfortable, and there's all this like, is this really me? Like, am I a bad person? No, your conditioning and programming in your internet isn't working anymore, but it's still kind of on autopilot, and we all have that. So in that, you get to take out the seriousness of being punished if that's true. Like, if you're not perfect, you're going to be punished. We're getting rid of all of that. Okay, so in this next slide. Okay, I've just looked up. I'm just fascinated with the Amor asteroid. It's a big proponent in the twin flame divine connection collective in their astrology, what have you. But it's exact conjunct Jupiter in Gemini in the second house, which is all about your money, your materialistic stuff, your stuff. Okay, figure out, for me, it's kind of transiting my Pluto. Pluto in the second house. Okay, big transformative changes. All right, so I'm also going to read you Gemini in the 19th degree, because this is also very wild. So if you're still here, awesome. I hope you're getting lots out of this. And then I'm going to get into what the 19th degree, what they showed me about the 19th degree and what it means in regard to us and our financial abundance, our relationship with money, all that stuff. Okay. Strange creatures peeking out from behind trees. Surprises, destiny shocks, stunning events present a way to evolve rapidly for the daring and the wild. Whatever you assume and prepare for, the moment shall be different. Nothing is meant to be straightforward here. You must be kept on alert, prompted, beguiled, tricked, anything to help you leap off. The biggest trick is to identify consciously with an innocent, youthful, almost hopelessly ingenuous persona, and then to magnify a destiny that would never come to such a basic kind of person. This way, the edge, the tension, the joke is perfectly poised, stretched just far enough to trip you up at every turn and every time. The greater self finds its ways to get the little self, the human self, okay, who wants to hide in safe places, when instead a much larger destiny is in the works, which insists upon knocking at your door, preferably a back door, a side door, to jump right in, scare the living daylights out of you, and wake you up for the most scintillating adventure along a vast and unlimited spectrum. We cannot prepare for what's about to happen. We're not meant to. And we're meant to kind of be, because the protective part of us wants everything to be safe. It wants us to be secure. And this doesn't mean bad things are going to happen. Good things can happen too. When I feel into my most sacred desires showing up at my door, I'm terrified. If I'm going to be honest about where I'm at with myself, I'm terrified because I know it's going to change everything. And everything changing is scary for that part of us that needs security. But we are developing security in ourselves. I was walking the other day and I could see my house through the trees. And I'm like, oh, there's my home. And I'm like, hang on, that's not really my home. I'm my home. So really shifting into what really is home, where is really security, and just leaping into the most larger than life destiny that you know your heart is calling for. Okay. Establishing, so with Amor and Jupiter exactly at 19 degrees in Gemini at this time, establishing value through love and the direct correlation of abundance and love. Expansion of your money and your relationship with money. 19 for me is the number of forgiveness. So reconciling any shame or guilt or mishandling of money. Like thinking, the universe isn't going to give me any money because I mishandle it. The universe doesn't give a shit about how you've handled money. That's not how it works. It doesn't think that way. Humans think that way. We have been in a system where we are either rewarded or punished based on what other people think we should or shouldn't be doing. But it's all just, I'm not going to get into that, but it's a corrupt system, okay? I've had to work through this, the shame of my credit score, as if that has any correlation to my value as a human being. But working through and allowing yourself to forgive yourself for anything in the past in regard to money that made you feel shame about yourself. That was an experience that you needed to have. That's an experience you're having right now. For whatever reason, you're understanding more about yourself. It does not determine who you are for the rest of your life. Okay. Surprises, shocks, and destiny. Don't assume anything. We can't prepare for this. Nothing is straightforward, and we're going to be prompted to leap and trust. So the last little bit before I get into my cards is I want to talk about the channels in human design. I want to talk about how these energies are helping us. They're helping us initiate a change of energy, bring in mental ease so we're not caught up in our head, identify and agree to embody our own unique flow, connect with the right people, and open to receive, okay? So the 360 channel, okay, is the channel of mutation, and it's gate 60 is where Pluto is. So this channel is with the great world changer, okay? And it's initiating energy, it's the channel of mutation, it's connecting the external life pressure, which is the root, to the sacral, which is life force. It is initiating energy from outside and pushing us from in. Normally, I'm like, don't process what you need from external energy. Don't hold on to it. Don't take it on. But if it is initiating things for you, allow yourself to roll with that. Then we have the 460. We have mental ease, truth and answers, connecting the crown where we receive our ideas and information and thought energy, and into the ajna where we process our beliefs, opinions, and what have you. This is going to bring mental ease for us. It's going to flow. We're going to get answers. We're going to get clarity with this. I don't know how that clarity is going to come to you. You might be guided to do certain things. I don't think so because of this, these other energies that we have. But if you're guided to meditate, if you're guided to go stand in the ground and like take in the sun codes or just lay down and stare at the wall, do what you got to do. Then we have 515, which is being in flow. So it's personal rhythm and the ability to be adaptable, changeability, right? Connecting the sacral, which is our life force energy, to our G center, which is love, identity, and direction. So feeling that energy come up to give us a direction, okay? But it's through ease and flow. It's not anxious, it's not nervous, it's not provoking, it's flowing, okay? And then we have 2145, which is material gains, okay? Self-regulation and resourcefulness. This is the money line. We have connecting the G center, our direction, our love, our identity, to the ego, which is our will to do, which is the capacity to do what we need. Okay. Then we have the 37 and 40 line, which is the channel of community. We've got community connection and restoration or divine will. So the ego, the center to do, will, whatever that is, okay, to our emotional solar plexus, because regardless of whether you're emotional authority or not, we connect to others through our emotional understanding and empathy. And this is bringing the right people in to connect, okay? So I think this is really beautiful. I think it's starting us off in the right place. It's setting us up for success, if that's what you want to call it. We are not being set up for failure. So I hope you guys enjoyed that a little bit. I'm going to get into the card reading. I just love looking at all these different things. I am offering a reading in regard to this for those that want to participate. I think it's through my Instagram right now because my website is being hella glitchy and I need to figure that out. I'm going to kind of ask it for an overall energy, and then I'm going to ask for a storyline. I'm not going to focus too much on certain elements. Maybe we can just play into this, like, what does this really mean for our moving forward? What kind of things are we going to experience or see or participate in regard to this transitionary time? Because I know that Pluto going into Capricorn and the new moon in Virgo are working together, but it's almost like they have individual projects that kind of go together. They don't feel like they're, even though they're earth signs and you can tie all these things, when I feel into the energy, I feel like I feel like they're standalones that kind of flow together. I don't know what that means for people, but here we are. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do an extended for divine connections, which will be in the, like, for love connections with this new moon and what it all means. Our value and our abundance and our money and our love, they're all tied in together. There's something with that, okay? All right, so let's get an overall, just show me like what it is we might experience at this time. Okay, so we have truth. All right, what do we have with this truth? Co-creation with source and peace through love. Because love is the only thing that's truly real. It's just been so distorted. And a renewal. Oh my God, I'm just burping up crazy energy and I haven't even eaten anything yet. Okay, they're giving us a story. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? So we have truth, love, and renewal. These are the core facilitations of this new moon. Personal truth. Let others be right. It's their personal truth. This is my truth. It might not be your truth. Doesn't matter. There's nothing harmful in people believing what's true for them. And I get that if you're on this trip of like regulating people and that are spreading what you feel is false information, feel into that. Is it actually serving you? Does it feel good? Is it making a difference? If it is, lean in, whatever. You do you. We have love. We've got stability and knowledge through intuition. Love is at the core of what we are cracking open with this vessel. Okay, wanting to feel more love, feel loved, love others more. Okay, and then we have renewal, the renewal of the soul, renewal of the energy, okay, renewal of the self, of the path, starting from scratch. Now here's manifesting dreams. Okay, this is what came through. We got manifesting dreams. But to do that, there's going to be some chaos. Okay? There's going to be some chaos because we want to stay in our safe little bubble and have our manifestations come to us. But there's not room in the bubble for those manifestations. They're bigger than what we know. So there's going to be a little bit of chaos in order, and we've been taught that chaos is a bad thing. It means somebody dies, but that might not be the case. Like I said, if my manifestation showed up at my door right now, like I'm not saying a person, just like, let's say I'm manifesting a sponsorship for my business or money coming in or whatever that, and it showed up at my door, it would change everything. There would be chaos in that change, but it's not a bad thing. Okay. If you have fears of that, lean in and be like, do I want to continue to buy into this narrative? Because my deep cellular structure, my conditioning from my family and intergenerationally through my ancestry and through the environment and the societal climate makes me think, well, don't look at life with rose-colored glasses. This is a hoop dream. Those are just inner dialogues from my subconscious that don't actually align with what I feel and sense and know to be true. Reconciling all of that, okay? So there's going to be chaos. In that chaos, we're going to experience uncertainty. We're going to fear because we don't know what we don't know. And when we don't know, we think there's room for error. We think something bad could happen. And in some ways, I think in an unconscious way, prior to people waking up and becoming more self-conscious and I shouldn't say self-conscious like insecure, but self-aware, conscious of the self, okay? I don't think we can actually think bad things into reality anymore because we're aware of it and we're doing it consciously and we're not doing it from a hyper-fixated, guaranteed kind of place. We're working through it, okay? That's important to know. It's going to create uncertainty. We're walking in a map that we've never been. We're mapping out the map as we're walking it. It's going to create uncertainty for us. But what are you going to do with the uncertainty? You're going to clear it out. You're going to deal with it. You're not going to bypass it. You're not going to sweep it under the rug. You're going to look at it and be like, yo, where's this coming from? Do I need to deal with it? What are we going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? I think we're in the process of clearing out the fear. And sometimes the chaos has to happen in order for us to address the fear and realize like, shit, we're okay. We're totally okay. We can handle it. We've handled all of this so far. Through that purification process, we have acceptance. Acceptance is a game changer. Human design wise, I have this actually in my chart where this is where I find clarity. If I can accept where I am, I can open to where I'm going. That might not be the case for all y'all, okay? But in accepting things, we no longer resist or need to fight or separate from it. We just accept. And I think that's a big part of let people be right. Because you're accepting where you're at. You're accepting where they're at without taking on any responsibility for what other people are doing. Like, we're just coming back into our own lane, okay? We're being guided to trust, okay, in this change that's coming, okay? We're being guided to trust. And through this process, we're learning to remember, or I should say we're remembering that we can trust ourselves. We've been through a lot. And we didn't like it, and we don't want to experience that again. We'll never experience it the way that we've always experienced it, because the more conscious you become, your perspective shifts, you have a completely different outlook on it. But even if you can't see where this chaotic experience is taking you, you can trust yourself no matter where you're going. So I think that was pretty rich. So I hope that this has helped, and I'm sending you all so much love, and take care.